Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back. Today is day 7 and our focus is pelvic floor health. So when you're ready, let's get started. Bring your legs to a nice seated, comfortable position wherever is comfortable for you. Gently bring your eyes to a close to begin today's stretch class. And together, feeling your breath as we breathe in and breathing out. Directing your attention to your mind, noticing it wander and thinking about other things that may have happened throughout your day, today, throughout the week. And just bringing your attention, whenever you feel it wander, back to the present moment. Wherever you are, wherever you're located, just feeling yourself in the space. Thinking about how you feel at the current moment. And bringing your thoughts back to your pelvic floor health and your intention for our practice today. And again, breathing in together and breathing out. Good. Once you feel grounded and present in the current moment, gently open your eyes and let's dive in, you guys. All right, so everybody's going to get started in a laying down position. Laying all the way onto your back. You're going to bring your knees about hip width distance apart. Okay, towards, if you do have a yoga mat, your feet should be on the edges or close to the edges of your mat. Palms are facing down. And all we're gonna do is just some simple glute bridges. Now this is a great way to activate and just start to focus on our pelvic floor health, okay? And if we're not aware of what that is anywhere just kind of around our pelvis area, our hip bones, anywhere from the front to the back. So that's what we're focusing on today, is opening up that area and also strengthening it as well, okay? So with that in mind, let's just close our eyes as we lay on the ground. First thing I want you guys to do before we do our bridges is to focus on getting as much of your back from your low spine all the way up to the top of your spine as flat onto the mat as possible, okay? Tucking your tailbone under, thinking of what I taught us the previous days in our series, right? Just relaxing, squeezing in our rib cage, focusing on our posture, even as we're laying down. And from here, you're gonna use your core and sits bone muscles to squeeze in your glutes. And slowly, you're gonna roll up one vertebrae at a time, lifting up, letting your upper back be the last part to peel off the ground. And once you get to your highest position, squeeze in your glutes and gently and slowly rolling down. Good. Great way to warm up our pelvic floor, like I was saying. So just continue to lift up and down at your own pace and emphasizing that squeeze at the top of your mobility. And keeping in mind this is different than, your normal glute bridges that maybe some of us do in the gym, aka me, for our glutes or a leg day, right? It's not your quick, fast movement of a glute bridge that you may be doing on a workout day. This is something different. I want us to, and maybe even keep your eyes closed just to articulate that movement, but just focusing on the movement of our pelvic floor. And again, peeling down one vertebrae at a time instead of flopping down as one, okay? So that's the name of the game with this one. Good, and lift up. This is the last one. And relax down. Good. Now from here, one more time, we're gonna lift up and we're gonna take some pulses with our legs. So gently rolling up, stopping at your highest point in your glute bridge, and hold here and squeeze your glutes. We have a 10-second hold here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Staying here. Now we're gonna lift our knees out to the side and bring them in. Okay, so they go out and in, and out and in. And this is similar to imagining as if there's a ball in between your legs, so just gentle open and closes, trying to keep your hips up and not letting them drop. 5 more. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Last 1 and 5. Good. And slowly rolling down just how we came up. Good. And take a nice deep breath. If you need to take a little break here, bringing your knees into your chest, getting a nice rock in from side to side, even after that little glute exercise. Good job. Nice. Now from here, we're gonna bring the soles of our feet onto the ground. So right here they go, and we're gonna open our legs up into a butterfly position. So my knees come out wide to the sides. I let them open as far as they can. And all we're gonna do here is just take a gentle hold. So either just flapping your knees as so, or option to grab onto your knees with your hands and give yourself an extra little press, right? Which I highly suggest, as with this series, I want you guys all to push yourselves. We wouldn't be growing if we weren't going outside of our comfort zone, right? So always hoping and doing your best, you guys, with the stretches, to just push yourself beyond your limits, right? It's like a metaphor for life. And I think that's, for me, a part of why I like stretching so much is I know that every day I'm able to work on the same thing, but I'm able to unlock like a new level almost. And there's always room for improvement with your flexibility and your mobility and just the way that it connects to your mind and your mindfulness as well. All right, guys, so holding here. Now we're gonna take some bridges or lifts in this position, okay? So now bring your hands, dropping them to your sides. You gotta use your feet, keeping them on the ground. You're gonna lift up, same thing, same muscles you're using here in your pelvic floor, right, to squeeze. We're just gonna do 5 of these lifts up and down, squeezing in our glutes. All right, so here we go. Lifting up, may not be as high as we were in our glute bridges, but thinking about the same thing, right? Since you're not able to get as much height here, it's more about just articulating the movement, lifting up 1 vertebrae at a time, and holding, and down. That's 2 and 3. And 4. Last 1 and 5. Lifting up and drop down. Good. 1 last pulse with your knees and bring them in, and nice. Now from here, we're gonna take a happy baby stretch. All right, so this is a yoga exercise. What you're gonna do is bring your feet up into the air, grabbing the outsides of your heels. You're going to bring your feet out hip width distance apart to the outside of your mat. Your knees are in a bent position. And from here, we're just going to alternate bending 1 leg, straightening the other, as you also are twisting on your back from right to left, okay? So with this one, it's difficult for me to give extreme direction because I like to leave this happy baby open for everybody to kind of just feel what positions and what movements feel best for them. But if you want, if it's your first time doing it, feel free to just follow along with the way that I'm doing it. But I like to do, like I said, side to side, bending and straightening 1 leg at a time. And the further back you pull your feet behind your head, as such, I feel like I get even more of a stretch and feel it even more in my low back. So that would be another suggestion for you guys as well. Taking a nice deep breath as you feel this in your low back. This should also open up that pelvic floor, Great to do for any of my ladies that get bad period cramps. This is a go-to for me if I'm having a hard time, really this entire sequence, but I love Happy Baby. It just feels so good, especially on your low back as well, because it does in fact connect to your pelvic floor area. All right, and bring your knees down, extending them out nice and long. We're gonna bring one knee into our chest, keeping the other leg extended out long. I'm gonna start with my left leg. Left leg is into my chest. And now I just have circles. So circling that left knee from the center out to the side and bring it back into the center. As you do so, you guys definitely wanna make sure that you keep your opposite hip glued to the mat. Okay, so instead of leaning over like this where your hip comes off, keeping it glued to the ground as you do your turnout and bringing it in. Each time you take your turn out, try to press that knee further and further out to the side, because our next step is a stagnant hold in that position. And another circle. And one more. Good. Last circle, good. Now from here, holding that knee turned out to the side, you can let your heel drop on the ground, but again, making sure that you're not twisting to the side, doing your best to keep both hips on the ground. And this is almost a half butterfly position because we're just focusing on getting one side onto the ground and pressing that knee down with your hand. Maybe you close your eyes as we take a nice hold in this pose. Good, and knee turns in and drop it down, nice. Same thing on the other side, so opposite leg, bring it into your chest, nice and tight. And starting with our circles, out to the side and into your chest. Notice as you do this, you guys, as with every stretch, right, just a reminder to notice, take note of which side is more flexible for you, which side may be giving you more of a difficulty. And especially for my ladies, right, we hold so much tension in our hips and our pelvic floor area, it's crazy, right? I've actually had people that have come to my stretch class, you guys, and that have, you know, started crying or had emotional breakdowns because we hold so much in this area that we're not even aware of, but it's crazy. It's proof that we actually really do hold a lot there. So when you stretch, you're releasing a lot of that. And now we take our turn out to the side. So dropping your knee out to the right this time. This is my right side. Pressing my other hip into the ground. Taking a nice pulse on this side. Nice, and knee comes in, back into your chest. And let's sit up. We're gonna turn over to face our stomach. So flipping our body over into this position. We're gonna start and get into a child's pose. So bringing the soles of your feet together. My knees are out wide, almost like a V shape with my knees and my legs. Hands come in front. Soles of my feet are together. And you can bring your toes up, but I just prefer to drop them down. Whatever's more comfortable for you and your body. Hands come out in front. Hands are nice and straight. And dropping your weight, shifting. Goal is to get your glutes here to touch your heels and get a nice stretch in. This is another one that feels very good. If you do live with someone or have a partner, have them press you down on your tailbone, something I do in my classes and people love it. It almost makes you want to fall asleep in this position. But just taking a nice deep breath and hold right here. This is another one of my personal go-tos, especially when cramping or on cycle, and a couple of women that I've instructed that have been carrying children This is a great stretch for them as well. They've loved this either right before conceiving or right after. So hopefully this will help you guys as well specifically. And from here, we're gonna shift our weight forward. We're gonna come to the front of our mat, drop our weight onto our stomach, and we're gonna take a nice cobra pose. So this is gonna get the front of our pelvic floor muscles. Starting on your elbows, my legs are wide, my knees are off the ground, just making sure that they're engaged, right, and nice and strong. So from here, just gently lifting up, allowing your head to drop back towards your neck. And if your back allows, go ahead and try to come all the way up into a full cobra position. If you do so, once you're here, lifting your shoulders away from your neck and pressing up, thinking of our beautiful, confident posture here as well as we show off our necklace from yesterday. And from here, the goal is to get your hips as close to the ground as possible. And from here, once you're in this position, it is a little bit difficult to straighten out your knees, but if you can, go ahead and try to keep them straight as well. And nice deep breaths in this position. And to finish out, we're just gonna alternate between our child's pose where we started and rolling into our cobra pose. Good. So just taking this stretch at your own pace. You can start slow, speed it up. Just taking a nice roll in your back and your stomach as you roll from front to back, making it one nice fluid-like, dance-like movement here. Good. And to the front. Nice. And take one last hold in your cobra or your child's pose. And gently, when you're ready, coming down onto your stomach and turning over onto our back to finish off today's class and focus on our pelvic floor area. Great job today, you guys. Closing those eyes, extending your legs or sitting up. Whatever position that you're in, I want you guys to think about how your pelvic floor plays such a big role in your day-to-day life. Whether you're a woman who has had multiple children, or you're looking to have children, just thinking about how important those organs around our pelvic floor are to our bodies, to reproductive health, to the day-to-day, and the stress that we may be carrying in this area around our hip muscles. All in that area, we carry so much in our stomach. And keeping those eyes closed, thanking yourself today for showing up for the practice, and giving yourself one compliment, whether it was on the amazing job that you did today, how you showed up with confidence. Compliment yourself for starting to practice stretching more, being part of the series. Just thanking yourself and your body and making yourself feel good, just as a reminder that we always need to be our own biggest cheerleader. And one last deep breath. And And gently open your eyes. To finish, drop your hands by your side. And coming up to a seated position. All right, guys, that was pelvic floor day. And hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys tomorrow for day 8. Bye.